It's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, in today's video, actually, let me just take that off while I say hello to you all. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about three things, aren't we? We're going to talk about Travis Decker just briefly. I need to stop using his name now. I need to start calling him the child murderer, or I think the killer dad. We're going to talk about the killer dad very briefly again about Jay Slater. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Celeste Rivas and what's going on in that case, which is a developing case. Isn't even a case in a way yet, because nobody's been made a suspect. Nobody's been charged with anything. But the reason for that probably is that Celeste's cause of death is pending. So even though her body has been released to her family, so the forensics have been done on it, Celeste, her cause of death has not been released. So this is Celeste Rivas. We're going to talk to her talk about her in a little while. Before that, we are going to talk very briefly, as I say, about Jay Slater in this build-up to the documentary that's coming out on Sunday. Now, I've got a picture of Jay to show. I like to show pictures of, the victims, the nice people. I'll have to upload it from Camera Roll, I think. I had lots of pictures of Jay there. Don't know where they've gone. I do like looking at pictures of Jay. He's got a very smiley face. Oh, it won't let me do that. I've got too many files. Got to take some out. Try again. So yeah, basically, Jay, you'll remember, and we've talked about him a lot on this channel, and he's in the news again a lot at the moment because of the Channel 4 documentary that's coming out on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, I think. Bless me. Sorry. Let's see. What pictures have I got of Jay? I've got a few pictures of Jay. I'll show this one of him in the hat that I've got in the thumbnail. He's always smiling, isn't he, on all of his pictures? Looks like he's trying on a hat there. In a hat store. Clothes store. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to look at the very last CCTV that has been released of Jane. You may have seen it because actually I think this was released a couple of days ago, but I realised I haven't actually shown it on my channel. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. So we're going to look at that. But first of all, before we talk about Jay and Celeste, we will be talking about the killer dad and what's the latest on the remains that were found that are presumed to be his, but we're waiting for them to be confirmed to be his. And we're in a strange situation at the moment because they have been confirmed to have been his by the US Marshals, but the sheriff, the handsome sheriff, he is saying no, he wants to wait until the actual DNA of the bones comes out. So we're going to talk about that. Before he confirms it, he knows that it is likely to be Travis, but as far as he's concerned, this case is not closed until the DNA from the bones is tested and found to be Travis's, whereas the Marshals seem to be happy with the DNA that was taken off the clothes that were found. Okay, so first of all, I want to say thank you, of course, to everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. So it's quite windy today, so I don't know if it's blowing the pollen around. If you don't know me, my name's Vicky Marie. I talk about true crime mainly, but lots of different things. I'm British, but I'm based in mainland Spain in Europe. And I do a mixture of live streams and videos. Now, if you're not a person who likes a lot of waffle, the live stream is probably not for you. But this video, I will split into 3 smaller videos of the individual things that I'm talking about. Some people just like to watch the bit that's interesting to them. Oh my God, this has really come over me, this. Sorry. So it's up to you. If you don't really like waffle, you may not like the live, and you may be better, but still subscribe anyway, because I will split off this video, as I say, into 3 videos about each individual thing without the waffle. Thank you to those of you who have already subscribed, who've liked my videos. Very special thank you to my members. Tonight is Members Live. And I think tonight we're going to have a look at that very bizarre Charlie Kirk memorial service that Trump completely hijacked and turned it into some sort of political rally. It's a very strange thing all around, that Charlie Kirk thing. You know, I'd stop making videos about it. But after watching that memorial service and some of the things that I've seen online, etc., I think it has to be talked about. This is odd. Everything about the Charlie Kirk murder is strange and odd and staged, theatrical. And I'm not a person who normally believes in conspiracy theories, but there's either this whole thing was completely staged, or poor Charlie's death has been hijacked by Trumpy and I mean, I don't know if you saw the memorial service, but I was sort of like mouth open really through. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, so that's in members tonight. So if you want to have a good debate about that, please become a member and join us tonight. What else do I want? Oh yeah, thank you to those of you who bought me a Ko-fi, sent a super sticker, emailed me, left nice messages. Any positive way you've contributed to my channel, thank you. Sorry. What am I going to do now? So I'm saying hello, aren't I? So I want to say hello to you lovely lurkers out there. My lovely lurkers are the people that like to watch the lives, but they don't like to join in the chat. I want to say hello to Replay Crew. Thank you for watching. And now I'm going to come into the chat and see who is brave enough to join in the chat. Excuse my sniffing. That's just come on, literally. I wonder if it's because I sprayed a bit of perfume, because it's quite strange, as even though obviously it's not smell-o-vision on the lives, I had a shower, wash my hair, and a spray of perfume. So it could be the perfume. Something set me off anyway, set my allergies off. Hey, David. Hi, Tracy. I feel like I haven't seen you for ages, Tracy. Hi, Angel. Hope you're all well this morning. So those of you that are watching live, it is Thursday morning. It is the 25th of September. Here in Spain, it is 11:49 a.m. It is 24 degrees, which, you know, it was actually quite chilly this morning when I took the dogs out for a walk. But yeah, it's warming up now. Oh, no, I had a really sweet experience when I took the dogs out this morning. So we bumped into a lady with her dog that we have not seen literally for years. A combination of sort of COVID and then the hot summer. And I don't know why, I just haven't been out that way to this place, etc. Anyway, I was walking my dogs and we suddenly heard this, I heard this sort of, well, it was like screaming of a dog, but not screaming in pain, it was excitement. Squealing probably is a better word than screaming. And we look round and this woman's coming, this poor woman's got it on the lead and it's pulling her. This dog is squealing with excitement because it can see us, it remembers us. And I usually have treats. In fact, that reminds me, I must start carrying some treats again in my, I use like a bum bag, you know, and I take the dogs for a walk. And I've normally got treats in there, but I've just haven't taken any for a while, probably because I've not been doing that much walking. And she could come squealing up to us, and you know, like that. And I let her and my Rocky were playing, and they've always played. And she went straight to my bum bag to sniff it, see if there was any treats in there, you know. And I said to her, oh no, my God, she remembers after all this time, she still remembers that I normally have treats in there. And she said, oh yeah, she's got tiene muy buena memoria, because she's Spanish, the lady. She's got a really good memory. Oh, so it was really sweet to bump into her. They had a little play, and it's nice. Okay. Oh, you've been away, Tracy. I thought I hadn't seen you for a while. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a nice time wherever you've been. Okay, so where we go? Good. Yeah, that's what I need, a holiday, I think. You know, they say a change is as good as a rest, and it certainly is. It sometimes just need a change of scenery. Because, you know, you can't, routines can be annoying, but I always think we're lucky to have routines, really. You know, we're lucky to get up in the morning, we've got a house that we live in, going and getting a coffee and going through, you know, taking your dogs out and stuff. We're very lucky, aren't we? Some people don't have that because things are going on. Maybe they live in a war-torn country, maybe they're a refugee, you know, there's all sorts of things that can be going on. Could be homeless, you know, so you're lucky to have your little routine, even though it might get boring sometimes. But yeah, it is good to get away, you know, change of scenery, just, and then you appreciate being home all the more as well, don't you? I think, you know, oh well, talk right. I'll just waffle a little bit. So yesterday was a really strange day. You know, it just talk about everything being packed into one day. I won't bore you with all the details, but so many things happened in one day. And I thought at the end of the day, I was thinking, what day is it? You know, and it was only Wednesday, and I'm thinking, God, it feels like at least Friday, because so many things had happened, and good things, you know, most of them good things. And but just boof, you know, it's like talk about routines, and you know, it's same old, same old. It's Groundhog Day, isn't it? Until it isn't, and then you get a day where you know, there's just like things happening left, right, and centre. I was exhausted. I was exhausted by the end of the day, but then I couldn't sleep, so I actually stayed up later than normal, and then woke up late this morning. You know, it's like I thought, oh my God, it's you know, you just never know, do you? You just don't know what's coming out the blue at you, do you? Good and bad, of course. Not everything that comes out of the blue at you is bad. Sometimes good things happen too that you weren't expecting. But it's like, oof, you know, and to be honest, I'd quite like a just quiet day, you know, where there's nothing unexpected happening, good or bad. Just one day where it's just nice and tranquil, no dramas, nothing like that. Anyway, hi, Bluebell. So, right, where are we? So let's start off with the killer dad. That's what I'm going to call him from now, because I have put him in the hellhole. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Can't find it now. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. Oh, I've definitely put him in the hellhole this morning. Oh, there he is. I need to put some music to these hellhole videos, don't I? Like some dramatic music. Like do 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 do, something like that. Some hellish music. So yeah, he's gone into the hellhole for killing his 3 beautiful daughters. For anyone who doesn't know this case, it is very sad. But it has to be talked about because this is a very serious issue. You're talking about an estranged father. These 3 girls, Peyton, Evelyn and Olivia, 3 sisters, and killer dad. He was estranged from the mother, Whitney. He had limited access to the children, but unsupervised access. And he came and got them one fateful Saturday, said he'd be back in a couple of hours, and he never came back with them. And they were found, hands tied behind their back, 2 plastic bags over their head where they'd been smothered at a campsite. So then ensued that big search for him, for killer dad, yielded no fruit for ages, weeks and weeks and weeks. There were fake sightings of him, or false sightings, I should say, from well-intentioned people who thought they'd seen him, but it wasn't him. Wasted a lot of police time and resources. And then the police decided to go back to square one, to go back to where the little girls were found killed, and search again and again and again. So I think it was the 4th search that finally, from a drone, I think, or a helicopter from above anyway, a shirt was spotted. And when they took a closer look, they found scattered bones, clothes, and they're like 99.9% certain that these bones belong to killer dad, which is this horrible person who, as I say, has gone into the hellhole now. This picture makes me feel sick. I mean, it literally does, just with all these MAGA crap on. Oh yeah, good old American dad. And he murdered these girls. Anyway, killer dad, he was ex-military. He was supposed to know a lot about survivalism. So it was thought that he may have, be hiding out somewhere, or he may have gone to Canada or have a bunker. Anyway, it doesn't seem so. So let's just have a look at a bit of a news conference. Let's see. So the US Marshal Service have declared Travis dead, but not the sheriff.
The update this morning.
Oh no, I can't do with TikTok things. Let's see, that's not. Let's try that.
We begin with the manhunt for Travis Decker finally coming to an end after a nearly 4-month search. Decker was wanted for kidnapping and killing his 3 young daughters back in May. 13's Alejandra Guzman has a story.
We've been waiting for these DNA results since late last week. Now we're learning that prosecutors were actually closing the case against Travis Decker. They're even going as far as canceling his arrest warrant. This is all according to court filings after.
Yeah, so the marshal's office and they've cancelled his arrest warrant. As far as they're concerned, he's dead. The DNA on the clothes, as far as they're concerned, proves that he's dead, and they're not, they want to get this case closed off. But it's interesting that the sheriff department, they're waiting for because the DNA from the bones has not come through yet. Only the DNA from the clothes, and the sheriff is not prepared to, which really is right, isn't it? Because when you think about it, that could be any person deceased there, and they could be Travis Decker's clothes. Maybe Travis Decker killed them. I think it's unlikely, and I do think this is Travis Decker. But what I'm trying to say is, waiting for the DNA results from the bones is probably the most sensible thing.
The U.S. Marshals confirmed to them that Decker is dead. Remains were found last week just 3/4 of a mile from the Rock Island campground where investigators say Travis Decker killed his 3 young daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, ending a months-long manhunt that pulled in Chelan County deputies, the FBI, and the U.S. Marshals. Visitors in Leavenworth are pushing through smoky skies, now with word that Decker has been found dead.
First to the law enforcement, great appreciation for their persistence in finding him.
That's great. At least they found him. It was too much. They had to find him somehow.
But even with the case ending, the impact this has had on the community is heavy.
It's shocking that something like that can happen, that a father can take the lives of his children. Senseless. It's awful.
Others, like Marty Satina, say they'll never forget the timing of the tragedy.
So I was over this area in the early summer, and it was the weekend that he killed his children. And so I'm back here, and now they've confirmed that he died. So
That's
a long time.
It's just too heartbreaking.
Despite these court filings, the Chelan County Coroner's Office is still waiting for DNA results back from the Washington State Crime Lab to identify the remains as positively belonging to Travis Decker. However, they do say that no matter how long, we may never know the true cause and manner of death. In Leavenworth, Alejandra Guzman, back to you.
Yeah. So, like when that woman was talking, wasn't she, about Travis being dead, and she went, yeah, like that. And it's true, that's how it feels. You know, it's good to know he's not sucking air anymore, that he's not a threat to Whitney, the mother, of course, anymore. He's not a threat to anybody anymore. But, of course, there are a lot of unanswered questions, aren't there? I mean, what on earth possessed this man to kill these most beautiful children, these 3 girls? And, you know, it doesn't even bear thinking about what they went through, knowing, you know, that their daddy was going to kill them, probably knowing that watching him kill the others, or, you know, it's just beyond belief, isn't it? Did he sedate them first? I mean, I don't know what came up in forensics. I think the cause of death was suffocation, but it makes you wonder, did he sedate them first, or did he really? I mean, obviously it'd be easy for him to overpower them. You know, he put their hands behind their backs, you know. Anyway, you can't even have to cut myself off from thinking about it, because it's just unbelievable that he could do that, a man who's supposed to love his children. So we won't get to know all that he is. It won't be made to held accountable, will he? Not in this life. We won't get to know what was going through his head. We won't get to know maybe even how he died, because supposedly there was no firearm found at the scene. That's what they told us in the last press conference. So how did he do it, you know? And of course the animals had scattered him because he'd been there for quite some time. You know, and some people are sort of critical, why didn't they find him earlier? But it's very, you know, we've seen the terrain. It's very difficult to find a body. That's something I definitely have come to realise. You think, oh yeah, you just say, you know, search party goes out, they find a body. It's bloody practically impossible in places like this. So yeah, we don't know. Did he leave a note? You know, we don't know all the final things about it, and we don't know how he took his own life. If he did take his own life, you know, or did he have an accident? Did an animal get him? You know, this is what I mean. So although, of course, it's a good result, it's good that they found his remains. It's good that he's not on this earth anymore, to be honest. We won't miss him, will we? I mean, the earth will, this planet will miss these 3 girls who had a lot to offer to the world. Travis Decker, he didn't have anything more to offer to the world except, you know, hatred and sadness and all those things. And whether he had PTSD or not, or whether he had mental health issues or not, I really don't care, because lots of people have PTSD, have mental health issues. they do not murder their 3 lovely children who have done nothing wrong to them. You know, so if he felt like taking his own life, well, that's his life to live, isn't it? Or die. It's his life to take. These 3 girls, it was not their life to take. So that's why I think he will definitely, if anyone qualifies for going into the hellhole, it's definitely him. Lousy, horrible person. I get so angry when I talk about him, because he was the person those girls should have been able to trust. It's bad enough when children get murdered by strangers, isn't it? But by their own father, who they've gone off for that, whatever it is, he was allowed those few hours visitation. You could take them off and bring them back. And they went with him willingly and trustingly, I expect. Probably excited to see the dad. Because whatever was going on between him and Whitney, the mother, children don't sort of always see all that, do they? And quite often they get more excited about seeing the absent parent. The absent parent is the one that takes them to the cinema or takes them play dates and exciting places. The parent that they're with all the time is the parent that tells them to go to bed at a certain time, do your homework, eat your dinner, has to give you all the boring stuff that you don't want. So quite often children are more attached to their absent parent, because the absent parent, is like a hero to them, because they're not telling them what to do all the time. And when they're with them, they're just having fun. It's unfair, really. Whereas their regular parent, their parent that's with them 24/7, is just a party pooper, stopping them doing everything that they really want to do. And then they go to their sort of part-time parent and they let them stay up late, or they let them eat things they're not supposed to eat, or they let them do things they're not supposed to do. So I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who will empathise with both sides of that, either being the parent that just whisk them off every now and again, or the parent that has to lay down the ground rules and make sure they go to school and all these kind of things that kids don't want to do. So quite often, the kids can feel more resentful towards their full-time parents. Okay, so I will let you know when the bone DNA comes through, but I just thought I'd give you that little update. So the Marshal's office, the prosecution service, etc., as far as they're concerned, the DNA on the clothes will do. As far as they're concerned, Killer Dad is dead, and they want they want to rescind the arrest warrant, all those things. It's like a question of paperwork, really, isn't it? They want to tidy it up and get it out of the way, and move on to the next one, I suppose. But they just want a closure as far as legal terms are concerned. But as I say, the actual sheriff is saying, no, we're going to wait. We're still considering it an open case until we've had the bones confirmed as actually belonging to Killer Dad, not only the clothes. So let me know what you think. Do you think the sheriff's right to do that? Do you think the marshals are jumping the gun a little bit? Do you think it's just because in their keenness to get the case tied up and out of the way? But let me know what you think in comments. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to tell you about. Now we're going to have a look at this last CCTV coverage of Jay Slater. So let me change over the photo there. So, yep, this is Jay. I think nearly everyone on my channel will know Jay's story. This is the young boy who had an accident while he was trying to walk home in Tenerife over some very dangerous terrain, and fell into a ravine and sustained an unsurvivable head injury. As it was said that it was unsurvivable. Even if he would have survived, he would have had such bad mental, brain damage, that he would have been like a vegetable. I'm sure that's what they said, that what the forensics scientists said. Anyway, did not survive. He died. And there's, it was a big case in social media and mainstream media because he was missing. Again, he was missing for a long time. So when someone's missing for a long time with no answers are always manufactured, aren't they? And there was a lot of conspiracy theories about this case. There was a lot of attacks on his family, which were unforgivable in my view. I mean, really, really nasty things said, especially about his mother. Anyway, it's the family that have cooperated in this Channel 4 documentary that's out on Thursday. We've seen a couple of nuggets from it. We saw his mum Debbie opening up his suitcase and revealing that she cannot unpack it. She just opens it every now and again. She takes the clothes out and smells him, and then puts them back in the suitcase. She can't unpack it. We saw his little dog Buster. Somebody left a comment saying they used to see Jay walking Buster. I don't know if that's true, obviously, because people leave comments and I have no verification, but that's a sweet little memory, isn't it? It's certainly a beautiful dog. One of those French bulldogs by the look of it. What else did we find out? Oh, yeah, we also found out that he sent one last Snapchat message saying he didn't think he was going to make it. But that Snapchat message he sent to his friend Brad, and it only reached him much later on because, of course, the phone ran out of battery. And then later when Debbie, Jay's mum, had all his belongings, she went into his Snapchat account. And, of course, that then sent the message because Jay had run out of battery. So apparently that message never sent. So that, as you can imagine, put the wind up Brad a little bit because it was like somebody's got a message from Jay, knowing that Jay is deceased. And anyway, that's apparently what happened. So that's something they're going to talk about in the documentary as well. What else have we heard from there? Just various things. Oh, yeah, Debbie showed us Jay's bag that he took with him when he went to raves and things like that, the festivals. He had his lighters in it, his driving license, bits and pieces like that. She showed us those, and she showed us the bag. So these are just like excerpts from the documentary, which, as I say, is out on Sunday, 9:00 UK time, Channel 4. I'm sure there's a lot of us who'll be watching now. I'm going to try my very best to not only watch it but record it as well, and see if we can watch it together one day. And that's a documentary that's been made with the family's consent. So, yeah, it'll be interesting anyway, won't it? So one thing that she did release earlier in the week, but I don't think, I know 100%, I haven't shown it yet on my channel, which was the very last CCTV of Jay, where he got refused entry into a nightclub. I'm just going to come back to the chat, make sure you're all right, all okay, and I haven't missed anyone coming in. Hey, Julie. Yeah, it's very similar to Watts family case, isn't it? Hi, Lily. I will be covering the documentary 100%. Thank you, Julie. Yes, I went a bit mad this morning. I actually washed my hair. I hate washing my hair. I absolutely hate it. I hate, when your hair's wet and it just irritates. Oh, just don't like it. So I put it off as long as possible. I mean, weeks sometimes. Or sometimes I might just wet it but not actually wash it. But I did. I went mad. And now I've got all water in my ears now and everything. You know what? I'm so thick sometimes. Why don't I just put earplugs in my ear? I need some earplugs. I need some earplugs that I can put in my ear because I hate it when I get water in my ear as well. So yeah, I washed it this morning, but of course I'm glad now that I did because it looks better when I wash it. Your hair looks quite nice when you wash it. When you don't wash it, it ends up looking like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards. But I still give it one more day. I can prevaricate over washing my hair for weeks. It's terrible, really. I do use dry shampoo sometimes as well. I'm getting to know all my secrets now, but what is it? One thing, one of my pet hates is washing my hair. And of course, I could cut my hair and have it shorter, but I would still hate washing it. And I like it once it's done. It's just such a faff. You know, it's one of those things that you wish you could just snap your fingers. You know, get up in the morning, your hair's like when I took the dogs out this morning and bumped into that woman. It's just typical, that the state of me. You know, have you noticed that? You go think, oh, just pop out, take the dogs out. Won't bother putting any lipstick on or putting my earrings in or just go. You should have seen what I had on and everything. And of course, I bumped into someone then that I know, and we're talking. Like if you go out all dressed up and everything, you don't see anybody. So yeah, yes, thank you for that. I have washed my hair this morning. So that's it now till January. No, I'm not quite that bad. I expect Christmas at some point I'll wash it. Just don't like doing it. Just do not like doing that. Don't like that wet feeling of the hair on me. And oh yeah, so you wish you could just snap your fingers, don't you? Get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you look an absolute sight. Or well, I do anyway. Maybe you don't. And your hair's everywhere. Your makeup is not well. My makeup's normally makeup from the day before that I'm too lazy to take off before I go to bed. And you wish you could just literally snap your fingers. Your hair would be done. Your face would be done. You know, I'd love to have. If I ever become a millionaire, which I think is quite unlikely now, I would definitely have an extra bedroom in my house where I would have a makeup and beauty person and a hair person living or whatever. It'd be a living job. I get up in the morning, do my hair, or they could come to the house and do it. I don't mind. They don't have to live in the house. Come and, you know, do my hair, do my makeup. I just hate doing it. Yeah, wigs are a good idea. I've thought about that, but you know, I don't. I mean, I like my hair when I do it. You know, I'm happy with it. I just can't be asked doing it. But yeah, you're right. You could just stick a wig on. I've seen some nice wigs. Temu's always advertising wigs, isn't it? And yeah, Bluebell, you're right. You do have to style it more when it's short. I've had my hair shorter, and every day you have to blow dry it. At least now I can just, if I can't be bothered, I just stick it up in a ponytail, as you've seen, or a mum bun or a nan bun or whatever you want to call it. You know, there's so many more things you can do with it when it's long. When it's short, that's all, unless you have it really short. I mean, I've thought about that as well, especially in the summer, a buzz cut. But I don't, you know, I don't want to look butch or whatever. So, you know, not there's anything wrong with being butch, but it's just not for me. I don't like that look. So yeah, sometimes I think, but I've had it in a bob, like a short bob. I do love having a bob, but you do have to blow dry it every day, and you can't put it up because it's too short. So right, so now I'm completely so Jay Slater. So I don't know if you've seen this last CCTV of Jay. It's very poignant because it's the very last time that he was filmed alive, if you like. Let's see.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notified.
No, we don't want to see Trumpy. Here it is. It's going to put an ad on again, isn't it? Yeah. Just wait for it so I can skip it. Come on. So, this footage is the CCTV from Papagayo nightclub in Tenerife. I've never been to Tenerife, so I don't know this nightclub, but it was at 11:55 p.m. the night before Jay went missing. And of course, he was very wasted, wasn't he? I think we all know that, and I think we all agree on that. Let's see. So he left the night. So what happened was he left the nightclub, which we don't know why he left the nightclub. And I think it was when he tried to get back in that there was a problem. Yeah. So he was refused re-entry. So you can see him talking to this bouncer, and the bouncer's not letting him in. And Jay's got on what those last things that he was wearing. And the bouncer seems to be pointing somewhere. I don't know what he was saying to him, but he's pointing him away from the nightclub, and he would not let him in the nightclub. I don't know if it's been established why. He then sent a message to Lucy and said, I can't get in Papagayo. They've got a marker on me. I wonder what that means. Any ideas? Let me know. Anybody know what he might have meant by saying, I can't get in Papagayo. They got a marker. They got marker on me. Because I felt like they probably wouldn't let him in because he was let him in again. I mean, he'd already been in there once, but he probably wasn't too wasted when he first went in there. And then they wouldn't let him in again, and they got a marker on me. Not sure what he meant by that. Let me know any ideas you have about it that you think it might mean. So because what they normally do in these clubs, don't they stamp your hand or give you a wristband or something, so that that they know that you've paid once? Because a lot of people go in and out of nightclubs, don't they? They go to have a ciggy or have a vape or maybe have a drinky poos, outside, or go to another club, come back. So, yeah, I don't know what he meant by that. They got a marker on me. And then Lucy said, Lucy said, I've just said, I'll come out and get you if you come home. So she offered to come and get him. I wish he would have taken her up on that, as I'm sure she does. I'm sure he would as well. Very sad. So he did get the offer of Lucy. Lucy, apparently, what we found out about Lucy, of what the others have said, she's the sensible one. She'd be the one that would be looking after them all, making sure they got home okay. And she offered to come and get him if he would come home. But he didn't want to go home, did he? He was in a party mood. Doesn't matter. It's okay. I on a mission. So I don't know what he meant by that. Might just be that he was enjoying himself. Thing is, he had been taking cocaine, I think. And, not that I've ever taken cocaine, but I do know quite a lot of people who have taken it. I've been in the company of people who've taken it. Oh, my God, they never want to go to bed, do they? They're talking. And you're like, oh, my God, I just want to go to bed. I haven't been taking cocaine, thank you. I've had a few drinks. And I'm ready for bed now. But I think people that snorted a bit, cocaine is a party drug that keeps you awake, isn't it? it keeps you awake. It doesn't make you what, he wasn't ready to go home. He was ready to carry on the party. Unfortunately, it's a shame, isn't it? I think cocaine, and he'd taken ketamine as well, hadn't he? I think. I don't know what ketamine does to you. I don't know why people take these substances. Honestly, for me, it's just to take something that you don't know how it's going to affect you for a start, because depending on what stage you're at, I think if you're drinking, when you've had that one too many. Well, I do anyway. And it's just like, right, that's it, no more, I'm going on water now. Maybe not when you're a kid, you don't. Yeah, probably when I was younger, I used to just drink till I fell over. But to me, I was always scared of taking tablets and things like that, because I felt that once I'd taken it, it was irreversible. Whereas I think with alcohol, once you start feeling like bad, you can throw up at least as well. That's another thing you can do. You can stop drinking. You're drinking incrementally, one after the other, and you can get to a point like now. Of course, I'm a lot older, but as soon as I realise I've had too much, I like to drink. I enjoy drinking, and I enjoy that little buzz it gives you. But I don't like getting drunk. It sounds ridiculous, but I don't, not anymore. When I was young, yeah, I did like the feeling of getting drunk. It releases your inhibitions, doesn't it? Well, now I don't need my inhibitions to be released. I haven't got any. So I'm too old for inhibitions now. So I don't need my inhibitions to be released. To me, to drink is just because it gives you that nice, chilled, buzzy feeling. And once it goes past that, where you start feeling a bit ill with it, or dizzy or sick, I don't want to know anymore after that. So what always frightened me was that you might take a tablet and you can't, once you've taken it, what are you going to do? You can't, unless you take half of one, I suppose, at a time, quarter of, that'd be me. I'd be taking a little lick of a tablet. 10 minutes later, I'm okay, I'll have another little lick. It's like, I'm just a wuss with things like that. I don't like taking paracetamol anyway, even when I was pregnant. This is Donald Trump's latest thing, isn't it? About paracetamol causing autism. Whatever, Donald, whatever. So, yeah, he was on a mission. He'd taken a lot, and he'd been drinking as well. So it was a real mixture that Jay had, wasn't it? It wasn't, I think you'd be quicker to think of what he hadn't taken that night. Do you know what I mean? Because he had a very big mixture. It's a wonder he was still standing even then, to be honest. And we can see on the videos, actually I'm going to show a video in a minute that I've got loaded up from ages ago. He was completely out of it. So anyway, unfortunately he refused the lift home or to be collected by Lucy. I don't think she was going to come out with a car to get him. She was just going to come out and help him get home. And he said, it doesn't matter. I'm on a mission. And then he went to Tramp nightclub. So this is 17th of June 2024 at 3:07:17. And there he is in Tramp's nightclub. So those are that is the last CCTV of Jay. Very sad. I don't know. I think if I was Debbie, I'd be watching that over and over again. Certainly in the beginning, because you just want to grab your son and pull him out of that frame, or turn back time where Lucy did go and pick him up. That he did say, "Yeah, come and get me, bring me home." That's what you'd want. And, maybe in another universe, I don't know if you know about sliding doors theory, where people believe that if you look out into the universe, so in some other universe somewhere, or some other parallel, I talk a lot about parallel universes, but some people believe there are parallel universes. So where that nobody... So in a case like that, let's say, in this parallel universe somewhere, flying around in the universe, Lucy did come and get Jay, and she took him home, and he was fine. He had a great holiday. He went home, and his life carried on. These sliding doors. So there was a film called Sliding Doors, wasn't there, as well? Was it Gwyneth Paltrow? I don't think I've actually seen that film. But yeah, if you believe in that kind of thing, maybe somewhere in another universe, Jay's still partying. I hope so. I'd like to believe in things like that, but I don't know. Let's have a look. So I've got these little I had these little videos of him enjoying himself. Still got them on here. Yeah, here's one. No, this was him in the daytime. I mean, he certainly looks like he's enjoying himself. I hope he had a bloody good time. That's all I can say. But they all look the same, these lads, don't they? You know, no wonder there was sightings of him. So, you know, nearly all them lads that have just walked in front of him there could have been him. You know, no shirt on, with this sort of fade haircut, you know, shaved at the back and then longer at the front. All of them look like they could be Jay. Let's just see that again. So there's Jay himself, but watch these lads walking down there. They're like, it's like a uniform, isn't it? No shirt, that same haircut. No wonder people thought they'd seen him. I've got another one somewhere. So this is one in the nightclub later where he was definitely off his face. Bless him. As he nearly falls backwards. Oh, bless. I mean, you know, that again, it's typical young person out on a night out, just letting it all hang out, isn't it? Doing whatever, taking God knows what, dancing, going with the music. No inhibitions. Yeah, but not conducive to walking across ravines, of course. You know, he's not even steady there on the dance floor, never mind walking around Masca. So, I think one more thing that I'd like to show before we finish on Jay Slater for this segment. So I think another thing that's going to be out in the video, in the documentary. There's going to be a reporter. Is it this? Well, a few people have reported. Yeah. And of course, the Guardian. Let's have a look at this. The Guardia Civil released a video as well of what the terrain was like. Don't think we've seen this one.
In the background, that was where Jay was staying overnight. He then walked up that road, and that's the last time that he was seen. And at that point, he vanished off the face of the earth. No one knows where he went. There has been a huge search operation going on involving drones, helicopters, mountain rescue teams, firefighters, anyone who could come up and help out. And now today, what the authorities are doing is they are launching a public appeal for anyone who is a good walker, a good hiker, and there are an awful lot of them on this island. Anyone who works in the fire service or paramedics, civil protection officers, both working here and also maybe on holiday here with the right gear, with the right clothing and with the right footwear to be able to go into this volcanic island and start wandering through the undergrowth.
Yeah, do you remember that idiot Paul Arnott, that down the rapids idiot? He went, didn't he? But he got annoyed with the Guardia, didn't he? Because they weren't dancing to his tune. And also, he'll have gone there, doesn't speak a word of Spanish. He went there, he upset everybody. He was wearing the mountain climbing clothes that Debbie had bought him, that he ended up leaving there. Because he's not even a mountaineer, is he? But yeah, they had this day where they call for volunteers. But then after that, the police just got rid of all the volunteers and just carried on their own little quiet searches.
See if there is any sign
and they
of Jay
found
Slater
him.
or anything that he may have dropped that may indicate where he was, where he's been, and where he was going.
Yeah, I thought it was going to show more the actual terrain. Let's have a look. Let's see if the police footage is here. This is the footage the police. Oh God, you have to put up the advert every time. So, I suppose this is what Jay was trying to struggle through. And even, you know, people who know the area and hikers get into trouble in this area. Oh, God, that was a bit short, wasn't it? Anyway, we have seen footage before, haven't we? Let's see. We gotta find absolute action. No, I can't find it. But anyway, oh, yeah, let's watch this. This was quite an interesting one by the Daily Mail. We watched it yesterday, I think, or the day before, but it's quite good. Oh, it won't spit.
For the past 2.5 hours, I have walked, scrambled and climbed through this ravine here, a short distance from the village of Masca on the island of Tenerife. And a couple of 100 yards behind me is where the Spanish authorities found the body of the missing British teenager, Jay Slater. The authorities describe the terrain here as steep and inaccessible. I think that's something of an understatement. It's no surprise that the body wasn't found for quite such a long time, because it really is the most challenging terrain I've ever experienced. This terrain is impenetrable, steep and inaccessible, just like the authorities said, but that almost doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, you know, that's something else that I think is going to be highlighted on Sunday. And as I say, I will be watching. I'm going to try my very best to record it in one way or another so that we can go through it next week, one day next week. I hope you get to see it. I say Channel 4, 9 p.m. UK time. Now, of course, depending on where you are in the world, I can get Channel 4 on my TV because I have got English channels from my service provider. So, you know, and I expect it'll be on YouTube one way or another afterwards. I don't know, sometimes they put these things on, sometimes they don't. But I'm going to try and record it in the moment anyway. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, isn't he a grifter, Bluebell, that down the rapids? Do you know he's doing really strange things now? He's off all over He's not doing any missing persons now. He's always with like young lads. He's very suspicious. I'm sorry, but he is. It's something that he's getting up to. It's not right what he's doing. It's just weird. 1 minute he was a mountaineer, then he was a missing persons specialist, going off on all these missing persons things, and now he's doing all these. And I've got a really strange video of him recorded where he's literally high as a kite and smoking, and he comes over as all clean cut. Hi guys, lots of love guys. He's all clean cut and butter wouldn't melt. He's not like that at all. He put a video out on TikTok. He must have been drunk or something, or taken substances. And I recorded it because I thought, oh my God, it just popped up on my TikTok feed. I don't even follow him, but things pop up probably because I've been looking at things with Jay Slater, and then he popped up, and he's a very strange person. Very, very strange person. Paul Arnott, Miss Lee. That's right, he made a mental health Facebook page and encouraged people to join his Facebook page on mental health. He's looking for vulnerable people. In fact, I might have that video to show you because I've kept it somewhere. I think. I'll have a look. For anyone who's ever watched Down the Rapids and thinks, oh, he's really nice, he's really sweet, what a little sweetie. He's not a sweetie. Let's have a look. I've got it here. Hang on. Let me see how can I show it you. This is just a complete aside to anyone who knows who Paul Arnott is. He also copyright struck me for using 5 minutes of one of his videos where he was showing the terrain where Jay was found. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. And I wrote to it. I'd credited him for it. So anyway, I wrote to him and said, I'm sorry about that. I said, but I did credit you. Can you remove this copyright strike? He just never answered me. He's a twat. Let's have a look. It's probably got a bit of this and that on it.
It's going to be hard. They're trying to evacuate me from the fucking village right now, and the Vietnamese police, they're not big. They're not big whatsoever. We got the gates over here. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. They're trying to lock me into the fucking gates. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I got my cigarette and they're trying to fucking hide.
This is the real Paul Arnott. So all that, oh, hi guys, lots of love guys. Oh, I'm so sweet. And so this, that and the other. He gets thrown out of everywhere that he goes. He was thrown out of Tenerife. He's a dodgy character. And he's going around doing lots of dodgy things. Allegedly. Very weird guy.
They're trying to hide right now. They're in the toilet. Yo.
Hi, Kelly.
Yo.
This is the real Paul Arnott that nobody hardly... This video is probably not up on his channel anymore. I just happened to record it.
Vietnam police? Vietnam police? Or Kong?
Please.
Daniel Kong?
Oh.
He's trying to ignore me right now. He's trying to ignore me. But you know what? I'm not scared of the Vietnamese police.
I'm not scared of the Vietnamese police. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? He upsets all the police everywhere he goes. He says they're trying to ignore him because they don't understand what he's saying. Because he's one of those people who speaks loud English everywhere he goes and thinks everyone will understand him. The Guardia, oh my God, he's lucky he didn't get shot or something because the Guardia don't put up with any crap. So he upset the Spanish police. He had to leave, was it India or something? He's had to leave everywhere he goes.
I'm here right now. I don't give a shit. Because you know what? This man right here is trying to be hard, and he's not hard. Vietnam police?
Vietnam police?
No? Kong? He's trying to be... He's trying to be quiet, but he's not quiet. I don't give a shit. Let's see what TikTok says. Let's see what Facebook says. Let's see what YouTube.
Oh yeah, let's see what TikTok and Facebook say, because the Vietnam police, they don't know anything, do they? Let's see what TikTok say and Facebook.
Says he's trying to be big man. I came to him when he was in hospital. He said he had a brain tumor. And I gave up my Christmas.
Oh, he gave up his Christmas. Now, the thing is, why is he talking to his viewers as if they don't understand what he's saying? He say, I got a brain tumor. You know, your viewers are British or English speaking. So he's out off his head on something, isn't he? He's either drunk, drugged out, whatever, probably a combination of everything. He's like this, normally he's this clean-cut living, you know, he presents himself as that, oh yeah, let's create a mental health channel. And, you know, all those vulnerable people, he's just trying to grift off them. That's what he's trying to do. He's a proper grifter, this guy. Really, really bad grifter. And never on that, because I remember when he first started with Jay Slater and he said he would go down in the ravine, but he hadn't brought his mountain climbing ropes with him. So I got in touch with because he doesn't speak Spanish, so I got in touch with a place that rents out mountain climbing equipment. And I sent all the details to him and I said, if you want me to translate, because I speak Spanish, if you want me to translate, I'll organise it for you. He never answered me. Never answered. He didn't want ropes. He wouldn't have gone down there even if he had ropes. Then poor Debbie, she was conned into buying him a load of mountaineering equipment because she wanted to find her son who disappeared. So she bought him all that mountaineering equipment that he ended up leaving in Tenerife anyway, because he didn't need it, want it, really. He's just trying to get clicks. He's a horrible person. Nasty, nasty person, this one. There's nothing, listen, there's people out there that are nasty, but do you know what? They're openly nasty. He's the worst of the worst because he pretends to be nice, but actually he's really nasty.
Christmas, no fucking New Year's Eve. I came to him in hospital. Hospital, Vang or Kong? He's trying to be big man. He's trying to be big man because he's friend with the police. And he's trying to be hard. No.
Yeah. What an idiot.
Big man, they're trying to be hard. They're trying to evacuate me from the fucking village right now. And the Vietnamese police, they're not big. They're not big.
Sorry, honestly, I could watch this all night because it's just ridiculous. The Vietnamese police, they're trying to evacuate me from the village. He's probably been run out of more places. Because the other thing is, I don't know if you've noticed, he's always around young boys as well. Always around young boys. It's all about young boys. I think he's a very worrying man, a very scary man. And I wouldn't want him around my son when he was young, that's for sure. So there you go. That's the lovely Paul Arner. He'll probably copyright strike me again for this. Anyway, I'll tell you, I'd fight it this time. I didn't fight it last time. I just thought I can't be else. So just waited for the time to be up, you know, because you get copyright when you get pulled up for copyright, sometimes, like say for a song or whatever, that's not a strike. You know, it just means they demonetize that video. But when you get copyright struck, you're only allowed 3 copyright strikes, and then they can take away your whole channel. So he copyright struck me because I used 5 minutes of one of his videos where he was showing the area of, and I said, oh, it's thanks to Paul Arner, you know, for this footage that we've got. It's very useful to see the area, etc. And he copyright struck me, and he didn't even like. So what they recommend at YouTube is if you see somebody's use your video and you want them to take it down, write to them first, ask them to take it down before you copyright strike. Oh no, he went straight through. He's never spoken to me, he's never emailed me. And when I emailed him and said, can you please remove the copyright strike, I'll just take I won't put the video back up, etc. Just didn't answer me, just ignored me as if I didn't exist. Why? Why? And I did nothing but try and help him, really, because I was trying to help him with these mountaineering ropes. He's as dodgy as anything, and he is the biggest grifter. And I'll tell you what, that mental health Facebook page that he's got, God knows what's going on in there. He will make your mental health worse, not improve it, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, lots of photos of him with young boys all the time, and that's not even allegedly. They're all on his TikTok and everything. I don't even follow him on TikTok. The problem is that once you, if I look at something, I'll say with Jay Slater, then for a little while afterwards, every channel that's ever done anything about Jay Slater starts popping up on your TikTok. I don't know if that's the way their algorithm works. So sometimes I've gone into a video because I thought, what the hell is that video about? And it's a really weird one. I thought, oh shit. And then you get sent another load of them because they think you watched that one, but you weren't watching it. You were just trying to work out what the hell it was all about. So it's a very odd algorithm, TikTok, I think, worse than YouTube to understand. But yeah, he's a very strange guy. Most of the time he's on there like butter won't melt. And he's just still a little nice, wholesome guy and all. Everyone wants to mother him or whatever. My God, you'd be very worried. If he was your son, that's for sure, you'd be worrying what he was up to. Anyway, so I've totally gone off the subject now, haven't I, of Jay Slater. Ended up talking. I don't like to talk about other creators, really. But I don't mind talking about him because he copyright struck me. So he struck the first blow. I never attack other YouTube channels or any social media creators because for me, whether I like them or not, I mean, I feel like it sometimes. Whether I like them or not, it's not up to me to tell people what to watch or what they should think is good or isn't good. But the thing with Paul Arnott is he copyright struck me first. So as far as I'm concerned, he cast the first blow. Do you know what I mean? I never said anything horrible about him until now. And I don't talk about, I could say a lot more. I could do a lot more about Paul Arnott, but I just don't want to give him the attention. But it just came up, so there you go. Yeah. Hey, David. Are you going fishing tomorrow? When I first saw that message just briefly, then I thought you said you'd been to the fish and chip shop. And I was thinking, I could just eat fish and chips. Oh, David, you want to rewind and see that video? He's a horrible person. Horrible, horrible person. He really is. You see the real Paul Arnott in that video that I've just shown. So, okay, that's what I wanted to tell you about Jay. I wanted to show you his last CCTV. And now we're going to talk about poor Celeste. This is such an upsetting case because this girl, now somebody was saying she was 14 when she went missing, but I read she was 13. I don't know. Doesn't matter. She was too young anyway, whether she was 13 or 14. This poor girl groomed, it looks like, into this relationship with this horrible man, David. Now, a lot of people are saying, why has he not been charged? And he has not been charged with anything. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Well, the main reason that he hasn't been charged is that poor Celeste's cause of death could not be determined. So her cause of death has been deferred. I've got a photo of the... I've got a screenshot of the, how can I show this? Hang on. The coroner's report or the forensic report I've got somewhere. Let me just find it. Now, I wonder if I can show this. Right, let's see if I can show this. I'm not very good at showing pictures, but I need to take that off. Get rid of that. Oh, I think you can see that. I think you can see that, can't you? I'm pretty sure you can see that. Tell me if you can't, but I think you can. Yeah. Where's it gone? I've lost it now. So, this is the County of Los Angeles Department of Medical Examiner, State of California, Community of Los Angeles into the matter of the death of Celeste Rivas. So the medical examiner of the County of Los Angeles certifies that on the 10th day of September, in accordance with the law, he inquired into the circumstances surrounding the death of the above-mentioned person. Caused an examination and identification to be made of the body and found that the deceased was named Celeste Rivas, a female aged about 15 years. She came to her death on the 8th day of September 2025 at vehicle, because of course she was found in the Tesla, 1015 North Mansfield Avenue, Los Angeles, California. And that was caused by pending further medical evaluation. So I expect they're waiting for blood tests, all sorts of things maybe. So what does that mean? Because they have released her body. So of course that's what they do these days, isn't it? They what's the word? They sort of take everything they need from the body, and keep samples or etc., all sorts of things, take photos, x-rays. So they've done everything they need to do. They released her body to the family. But cause of death is pending. So people are saying, and probably is true, is it, that they won't release any charges because they actually don't, they need, there's definitely been abuse of a corpse, hasn't there? Because like some people have said, it's always a possibility she may have died of an overdose or any accidental death. And then if David didn't want it to be known that he was having an affair with a 13-year-old girl, was that the reason the body, it may not be that she was actually murdered. So until we get a cause of death, so basically the police cannot arrest David for homicide charges because the cause of death has not been determined yet, if you see what I mean. And that makes sense, doesn't it? You've got to have a cause of death as homicide before you can arrest someone for homicide. You can't arrest someone for, cause of death pending. And it is possible, I suppose, that it was if she is proven that she died of an overdose, it's possible that it was an accidental overdose, isn't it? And as I say, did he panic? There's so much to go. I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm saying it's a possibility. So the police don't deal in possibilities, do they? They need a conclusive statement from the medical examiner that this girl died of homicide, of murder, before they can arrest someone for murder. But at the very least, surely you think they could arrest, because somebody put her in the frunk. She didn't put herself in there, so there's definitely abuse of a corpse has taken place. Maybe the police are just waiting until they've got all the details back and they decide which way to go with this case. Because the other thing is, they don't want to make any mistakes, because there'll be now. I saw a detective on something that I was watching a while ago, that once you find a body, so say somebody goes missing, and your whole focus then is finding that missing person. When you find the missing person, if they're deceased, your whole focus is on cause of death. Once the cause of death is established as homicide, your whole focus is getting your suspect in custody, and then your whole focus is on the conviction. So that once you've got a suspect in custody who's been charged, all you're thinking about then is the evidence and getting a successful conviction. So you go through those stages. First of all, it's finding the missing person. Then it's establishing a suspect, presuming they've been found, that they died of homicide. Get your suspect in custody, and then just concentrate on convicting them. So this is where the police will be now. They're all about the evidence, aren't they? They want the right evidence to charge this person, if appropriate, correctly. They don't want anything coming back in the trial process to say, oh, well, you didn't do this right, or you didn't do that right. They're trying to do it all right, because what they'll be thinking about now, if they suspect that David has done this, all they'll be thinking about is getting a successful conviction for Celeste's remaining relatives, won't they? So that's what it feels frustrating, isn't it? Feels like it's taking such a long time. But better it takes a long time and it's done correctly than it takes a short time, and then later during the trial, the lawyer, a clever lawyer, can make mincemeat of anything, can't they? A clever lawyer will tear anything apart that hasn't been done meticulously, properly. So yeah, they can't charge David because they haven't got a cause of death. I mean, really, that's basically where it comes down to, isn't it? If you haven't got a cause of death, how can you charge someone for murder? It's impossible, really. Yeah, so that's what it's been saying on a lot of X accounts. There won't be any kind of arrest until the Los Angeles Medical Examiner's Office determines the manner and cause of death of Celeste. So in the meantime, apart from that, what else has come up? There's been other things that have come out. There's a video. Let's have a look at this video that's emerged of David's concert at the end of August. And there's a girl in the audience that everyone's saying looks like Celeste. But I just want to let you know, in case you've seen this on something else, I think this has been proven not to be Celeste. Let's have a look. See here? So I'll play it from the beginning, actually. This is David's concert. I just turn the sound down because then they get you for the copyright. So there he is on stage doing his thing. And up here in the gallery, people are saying that this looks like Celeste, which it does look like her because got this long black hair. But other people are saying it is definitely not Celeste. Let me know what you think. Now, as I say, this was in August. I think Celeste has been deceased for a lot longer than that, to be honest. This lady. I mean, he probably had loads of young girls And they probably all had a similar look, because he'll have his type. You know, he likes young girls, maybe with long dark hair parted in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Often these sort of psychopaths have types, or alleged psychopaths, don't they? But the thing is, if this turns out to be true, you know, in other words, that he has killed Celeste and left her in that frunk for all that time, this is like a massive crime, isn't it? What kind of cold-blooded psychopath can go off on tour doing all this shit, singing all these weird songs about homicides and things, knowing all the time that there's a girl dead in the front of his Tesla? There's not many people could be that sort of cold, is there? So, I don't know. I don't know if that's Celeste or not. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, some people are saying yes, it is, and some people are saying no. Anything else? No, we're going to have a look at Jimmy Kimmel tonight in Members. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. So, yeah, if they're waiting for toxicology reports about this girl, you know, they can take a long time, can't they? Toxicology reports can take a very long time to come through. Let's just see if there's any other update. I don't think there is really any other update. Oh, yeah, this was something. So, some media reports, of course, are saying that she might have been pregnant. Others are talking about infant remains found nearby. None of that is confirmed. And also, a neighbour of his, according to the Sun US, they're claiming, in fact, we'll try and get that up, that they spoke to a neighbour who said that they lived together. Let's see if I can find that. If I can find the article, I can't find the article. Anyway, that's what this podcaster is saying. So, you know, again, until we get some actual facts from law enforcement, we are stuck a little bit with rumours and what people say, you know. So we have to take everything with a pinch of salt until it's confirmed or otherwise by law enforcement, don't we? Yeah, I don't know if Teslas have cameras in them, Bluebell. Yeah, I'm sure all that is what's going on. They'll be looking who drove the car, who parked it where it was picked up, you know, and towed away. Of course, we saw yesterday there is security footage all around that residence where they lived, where you can't be, you know, you can't get in or out of that apartment block without being seen or filmed. So that's shades of Stephen Stearns, isn't it? Who tried, you know, when you think about it, it's ludicrous, really, isn't it? Tried to take poor Madeleine, sit her up in the passenger seat as if she was still alive, but it was patently obvious that she was dead. He tried to, you know, do that and make out, you know, but of course everything was captured on video because he lived in one of those complexes, didn't he, where all the going and comings and goings are filmed. So the police knew quite quickly, I think, that Stephen had killed Madeleine, didn't they, in their opinion. That's a very, you know, I hope this doesn't, do you know, I'm not, right, I'm very anti sort of trials, you know, because I prefer it if people plead guilty because it puts the family, saves the family a lot of misery of finding out exactly what somebody went through, etc. But this with Stefan Stearns, when he decided, he didn't even plead guilty. I don't think they should be allowed to plead no contest, because it's a very empty feeling, because he hasn't had to say what he did to Madeleine or what happened. He's still sort of really half saying it wasn't his fault, you know, and it patently was his fault. And he'll never get made to, you know, I'm not even just talking about us, it's frustrating for us, but imagine the family never getting to find out exactly what happened that night and why Madeleine died. Because he doesn't have to say that now because he's pled no contest. So at least with a trial, I suppose, when people plead not guilty, you get to know too much information, but at least you get to know what happened. You get to see all the evidence, like we did in the Erin Patterson case. Now, if Erin Patterson would have pled guilty in the Mushroom murder trial, we wouldn't have got to hear about all that evidence. You know, it's just like, oh, well, she's pled guilty, here's the sentence. So, you know, I'm a bit torn whether I believe people. Same with Brian Kohberger and the Idaho 4. He's pled guilty, so now, although, you know, everyone's had the chance to give their victim impact statement, he's got his sentence, but you know, he doesn't have to say why he did it, or he doesn't have to go through anything. But anyway, I don't know. It's a crazy world, isn't it? Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that, which is sort of an update about Celeste, about the cause of death being pending, and that, of course, will be the reason why there's been no charges yet. But you know what? I think once things start happening in this case, I think it'll all happen all at once. It'll be like that, won't it? Once something, the police will be waiting for this, you know, smoking gun thing that they can actually have a reason to make David the suspect or whoever. And once that comes up, I think things will move quickly then. So, okay, that's me. I'm off for lunch. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Thursday if you're a member. I'll see you tonight to talk about some Trumpy things, and you'll let me know what you thought of the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and we're going to talk about some connections. Oh, God, that is a real rabbit hole, isn't it? Connections between Erica and Charlie's wife and Donald Trump. And why did Donald Trump act so bizarrely with Erica? Like, you know, he's quite creepy, isn't he? And then the other, and Erica has had a charity has been connected to child trafficking. Child trafficking. I'm not saying Erica's involved in child trafficking. I'm saying that the charity that she was involved with was accused of child trafficking. Just you think, oh my God. And what is Erica's connection with Donald Trump? She's had a connection with him for years and years. She's won his beauty pageants. She's done so many, you know, there's something weird going on with this Charlie Kirk thing. It's not as it seems. I'm 100% certain it is not as it seems, and I'm not the only one who thinks it. People will either agree with me or they won't. I'm not trying to tell people what to think. I'm just saying how it feels to me. Okay, so take care. Have a good day. I'll see you really soon in the next video. Hopefully members tonight. Thank you. I'll see you really soon in the next video. May your God go with you. Bye.